Welcome to the Haymaker MMA Show with your hosts, Tanai Shah and Ian Wall.
Welcome back after a little break over the holidays. Good to see you again tonight. Everything go good over the little break you had there?
Yeah, dude, it was really good. I went to New England for a little bit around New Year's time and everything, but we had an episode in the middle, but nothing really to call on fights, so
yeah,
I was a little more relaxed on that part.
I enjoyed the little break, get a little breather and get re-energized, re-excited for the fights coming up. So gonna break down the main card here, the 5 fights. First one leading off, we got Punahele Soriano versus Dushko Todorovic. Fucking butcher up those names real nice, but who do you like in this one?
Dude, honestly, I've only seen like 2 fights each from both of them. And one was in the Contender Series, and one was in the UFC. They both had early knockouts also, so we didn't get a lot to see.
Similar tracks, similar pool of
like
shit
very
to look
similar.
at.
They got a decision in Contender Series, which was pretty dominant, and then a KO. So yeah, Todorovic just seems a little longer and with a better reach. But then again, Soriano has a better wrestling background, so honestly, I'm just going to stay away from this. But if I had to pick, I'd say Todorovic. If I had to. I'm going to stay away, I think.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people online and on like Reddit and Tapology. A lot of people are on Todo too. But I liked what I saw at Apuna. He's got like that. It almost kind of reminded me of a little Mike Tyson-esque, where he kind of dips and rolls when he's throwing the hooks, and it looks so fucking powerful. And watching the 2 fights, I only watched the Contender Series and their most recent one in the UFC. Also, both of them having only those 2 fights to look at. I liked more of what I saw at Apuna, to be honest. I think Dusko, he threw hard as shit, but I think he kept his head up to be hit, and I think this might be like the fight of the night, or kind of steal the show. Starting off the main card, I think this could be a sick one. But I'm leaning Puna, and he's underdog money, so that might be one of my good underdog money picks for the weekend. But I like Puna in this one.
All right, then we got the KO of the year, Joaquin Buckley taking on D. Chirico. Buckley's on a high, obviously. Like, his first fight obviously sucked against Kevin Holland. He got knocked out, and then he came back against
Good fight, he just fucking lost.
Yeah, he lost. But that's not good. That's not a good way to start your UFC career.
Absolutely,
know what I mean?
Yep, for sure.
Like, you don't want to get starched like that, your mouthpiece flying around or anything like that.
Yep.
So. But then he got it back against Kasanganay, obviously Impa with the highlight reel, the K of the year, spinning wheel kick, whatever the fuck you call it, Taekwondo. And then he had a nice composed, like a straight punch win in his last fight, which was pretty recently too. And then Chirico is on a little bit of a slide, dropping his last 3 by decision. Chirico has a little bit of height, but Joaquin still has the reach and everything, and he's on such a high. I think they gave him the perfect opponent to knock out and keep going on that trend.
Dude, Buckley's got arms like a fucking orangutan or something. Like, they're so long for his body. It's crazy.
But yeah, Buckley, I think that hype is all the attention he got for that knockout. I think he's using it well. He said in his last fight after knocking the guy out, he said, "Yeah, I was a little excited to go in for the finish. And then once I steadied myself and did what I had to do, did the basics and just, fought and not looking for the kill the whole time, I got the win and I got the knockout." So yeah, I think the same thing's going to happen, but this time he's going to come even more prepared. Like, I know James Krause said that he's a bum, but he's shown the opposite so far, and I hope he keeps continuing. I like Buckley by knockout, honestly.
Yeah, I would love to see the James Krause fight or matchup in this one too with Buckley, but I honestly think the UFC might have been saying, all right, chill out a little, let's not derail this hype train too quick. And I think you might be right with the KO for the Chirico getting KO'd, but also you look at some of his last fights, he was up against Kevin Holland, who has a KO over Buckley, who's got some great power in his hands. He also is up against Makhmuradov, Muradov, who is the Floyd Mayweather guy's been fucking KOing people unconscious like crazy. So I think a good snipe bet for the weekend, or a good one that I'm definitely, I think, going to place is Buckley by points, Buckley by decision. Right. DeChirico is a brawler too, but I think if I'm Buckley, I might not be going in as crazy as usual, and it's a 3-round fight. Like you said, he's kind of learned more just to let the KO happen, and it seems like DeChirico, the KO never really comes against him as of recently, at least. So I think a good plus money bet could be a Buckley by decision.
Yeah, I don't mind that, honestly, but we'll see.
I still see Buckley getting it done. Strong, yeah, for sure. You can see
tough.
it.
Yeah.
He's short, though. I pointed that out last time. A lot of people, you see the picture. He looks like a fucking action figure. He's got huge pecs and shoulders and everything.
Huge.
But then you get in the ring, and some of the other guys, it's more spread out. But moving on to a guy who we haven't seen in many a moons, but was a killer fucking back in the day. I kind of compare him to Leon Edwards in nowadays terms, as he's fucking right up there with some of the best in the goddamn world, but is inactive and hasn't fought in a while, and people forget him, out of sight, out of mind, in that sense. But I think Ponzinibbio could come back, and if he's fights like he used to, he could be a real fucking problem. I like him over Jing Liang. He's a dirty fucker too, Jing Liang, I think, with the eye gouging against, I forget who it was, the Celtic kid. I don't remember I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but had him in a deep guillotine. He's plunging his thumbs into his eyes. He's a good-ass fighter, though, too, but I think Santiago, barring having some crazy ring rust and not, being in the ring for a while, I think he really gets it done and has a great comeback performance.
Yeah, it's got to be said that Ponzinibbio was out for 3 years because he had like a bacteria infection. It is similar to Leon because they're both good and they don't fight too much, but Ponzinibbio had an actual reason. Leon was, I don't know, just waiting for the right opponent, kept waiting,
yeah.
And now he's...
I acknowledge that for sure.
Yeah. He got unlucky with his last couple because of COVID and everything, obviously. But Ponzinibbio had a real disease. He had to be out for 2 to 3 years, I think. But yeah, I like Ponzinibbio too. I think he's going to come back, make a statement, and call some fucker out too. Like, I think he's going to be like, yeah, I'm back and I'm here. I'm ready to go. Give me any top 5. Give me some big name because I left because I had to. Before that, I was fucking murdering dudes. So
no one had Argentina either. So
exactly.
Good for the Argentinians.
I know, dude. That's someone to root for.
Yeah, right.
For them, yeah.
The up and coming regions for sure.
Yeah, Lee on the other hand, he's been consistent and everything. He's had his ups and downs recently, but yeah, I don't think he matches up well against Ponzinibbio. Ponzinibbio's last fight he knocked out Magny, and Magny outpointed the shit out of Jing Liang in his last fight. So
Magny's a beast too. In hindsight,
Magny's a beast.
Not a bad loss to have.
Magny's the man. Like he got the fucking stamina for days. He'll just wear you out and keep touching you. And fucking Neil Magny's the man, don't get me wrong, but Ponzinibbio has a knockout over him, so can't forget that.
Looking back at these last 3 fights we just went over, these are 3 fucking bangers that should be some good ones. This main card is low-key fucking stacked. Should be some stacked fights.
The first one of the year, they got to come back with a bang, And obviously we have 2 more fights coming up within the next week, so Saturday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
Rapid fire. Love it. Dude, make up for some lost time.
In Fight Island where Ian's at, apparently.
Ian,
right,
the fucking background. One day, baby, in my dreams.
I know. But 2,000 fans, fuck that. I want the whole arena packed.
Yeah, dude, once the COVID passes and they still have the fucking Fight Island shit as a real thing, like, that would be unbelievable, dude. You're right, electric.
Because now they have all the glasses and everything. Yeah, it's cool. Like, I'd obviously see a fight if I could, but it's not the same,
Yeah, I'm liking the no fans, but I digress.
I enjoy the no fans a lot from home. Dude, you can hear everything.
As a hardcore, or I don't know, more analyzing the fights and shit.
You can hear the corner, you can hear the shots, every single thing. I like that.
But next up in the co-main here, some two bad boys who have been around for very, very long time. Yeah, like you said, fucking legends if there ever was any. you got the Carlos Condit stories. I don't know if you ever heard it when he was with Bisping and the soldiers, and I don't know where the hell it was, but they were going to visit them, and they did a little sparring and got out of hand, and Carlos Condit was head kicking fuckers. But that's a great story. But then Matt Brown, same type of shit comes out of him too. But as far as breaking down this fight goes, I was looking at some of Matt Brown's recent stuff, and you go back to his fight with Diego Sanchez, who's in the same category as Carlos Condit and Matt Brown. Just these old fucking legends who have been going at it forever and aren't like point fighter type of guys. They go out and bang, and it's ugly and dirty, and so the fact that they're still getting at it is great. But to see Matt Brown pass that test in Diego Sanchez, I think was a good sign towards how he'd do against Carlos Condit. Carlos has got some fresher years on him than Matt Brown. Matt Brown's like 40, I think Condit's like 36.
He is 40, yeah.
And so definitely some more miles on the clock. But I like, in my heart, in the loins, I like Matt Brown to get it done. He doesn't have the reach advantage or anything like that, but I think he's coming in hot. I also like this one to go the distance. A lot of their fights don't go the distance, and so I haven't looked at the odds, but I think that might be some good shit on that. But Carlos Condit over Court McGee wasn't the best showing, and fight skid
so?
before
I
that.
thought he looked good.
He looked all right. And not like Matt Brown's been looking like a world beater either, but on a slight lean. I'm just excited to see how this fucking plays out. I'd love to see either of these guys win or just have an exciting fight. So, but I like Matty B.
Yeah, we talked about the whole Diego Sanchez, Condit, Brown thing in our last video, and we talked about some cuts or retirements.
That's the other thing. I need Condit to lose so I don't look like a jackass, and they might cut him.
Yeah, I made a safer prediction for that. I said the loser of this fight can, retire. Honestly, dude, you're fucking 36 and 40. Just call it. Like, don't make it bad with the UFC and the fans or anything like that.
Don't let them cut you.
You've had your years. Like, yeah, you walk out on your own fucking terms. But as for the fight goes, dude, I like Condit, honestly. I liked what he did against
I can say it.
But, like, the thing is, it's going to be a nice stand-up war, and I was thinking if Matt Brown has to win, he's going to crack him. But if Condit's going to win, he's going to outpoint him and get a decision. Like, don't get me wrong, Condit has his fucking fair share, a big number of finishes, but I think Matt Brown will get the finish, but I like Condit. And
I just hope it's not an inactive fight. I got a bad feeling we might not see the most output out of Condit, and that's why I kind of shied away from it. I feel like he didn't put out too much in the McGee fight.
He did play it safe and smart, I'd say, but I don't know. I just like what I saw. He didn't like get hurt too bad or anything, and I'm rooting for Carlos Condit.
Either way, gonna be a great one to watch. No one can lose in that shit.
It's either gonna be great or absolutely horrible. So.
You're totally fucking right. It could be the worst fucking fight in a long time, but could be a sick one also.
My favorite fighter on the roster, Max Blessed Holloway, in the main event, taking on the young and hungry New England Cartel's own Calvin Kattar. Kattar's coming off that fucking Jeremy Stevens elbow, and then he beat Dan Ige in a bloodbath. Max obviously got robbed against Volkanovski on Fight Island last time, and I felt pretty shitty about that. I'm still salty. I think this is like a fucking sick matchup because they both like to stand and strike and mainly box. Like, Kattar is such a good boxer, and he can hit so hard for 145. Max, on the other hand, is just fast, and he outpoints you so well, and he has so much stamina that he just puts a pressure on you that people can't handle. Like, you see what he did to Aldo and fucking Ortega and all these guys he's faced. Even when he lost to Dustin at 155, Dustin cracked him early and had the bigger shots for sure. He's the bigger man too. But Holloway had some nice pressure at the end, and he likes doing that. Like, he'll get you tired and then just touch, kill. Touch, kill. So I love that from Max. Obviously my favorite fighter on the roster. I love everything what he's about, and I'm going to go with him. I think the experience will be too much for Calvin Kattar. Don't get me wrong, I love the New England Cartel too, but Max Blessed all the way.
Yeah, dude, I was, first off, sick fucking matchup, I think, for them to make with these two guys, just given their skill sets and the striking shit. But you know, when I first heard it and thinking about it without you know, looking at anything, I thought Max could be in some trouble here. When I think of like that division, I think Kattar's like the best fucking boxer in that division. He's just so with the combos and how crispy he is, and you know, you look at like the Shane Burgos fights and stuff, and him and Rob Font just are fucking.
He fucking cracked.
And it's just like it's just like sharp, you know. It's nice with it.
Crisp.
So I was thinking, man, if there's a dude in the division that might be able to put Holloway out, not just beat him, I don't think he's got the best chance of beating him over 5. But a guy to be able to finish Max, it might be Calvin. And then I go back and look at some of Max's fights, and if Dustin Poirier's not putting your ass out, and some of the shots he ate in that fight, and that fucking Hawaiian shin, he's young.
He's never been knocked down even.
That's crazy. I didn't know that stat either.
About 9 or 10 years in the UFC, not one knockdown agained him.
Unreal. So that Islander DNA, bro. They got some pure shit in them, dude. It's some good genes they got rolling around, and he's young and he's proven he can take that fucking shot, and he looks so goddamn good against Volkanovski, like you said, in that robbery. So after doing a little more, I'm looking at it and everything, and the previous last couple fights, I gotta ride with the boy Maxie Holloway. Yeah. You know, he's used to being the longer guy too, and I don't think it's going to be the easiest fight with Calvin, but Max is no bitch, and you know, he's always proved, you're taking Aldo out twice. You know, people don't get much more dangerous than that. He's always been in the fire, not scared of shit, so I think he'll be able to get this one too. I like Max Holloway by decision, but I can also see like a round 4 or 5 or by decision, just like you said, keeping that pedal to the metal.
Every time, dude, he's had someone like hyped up fighting against him. He shuts them up.
And he's not he's so likable, bro. He's likable as fuck.
Like, how can you not love him? And dude, Max was talking about how he's been doing a lot of jiu-jitsu and wrestling and shit recently. How he's like actually working on it. So maybe he mixes it up, you know, because Kattar hasn't seen too much of that.
Yeah, we'll see. I think he gets that warrior spirit in him sometimes, and fucking just keeps you know,
he points to the
ground, right? Says come get it, but
yeah, you gotta love him.
That wraps up our breakdown for the Calvin Kattar Max Holloway fight. Hopefully Maxie boy gets it done. Coming up on a big week, we're going to be with you all week giving some predictions and breakdowns. We got Michael Chiesa versus Magny on Wednesday, which will be a good fight. And then the big boy, the granddaddy, Dustin the Diamond Poirier, getting after it again against the old Irishman, Conor McGregor, seeing if he can keep this train rolling with Conor McGregor. So super fucking exciting. We're going to be hopefully making a pretty penny on that shit also, but breaking down all those fights nonetheless. So check in later this week and we'll break some more shit down for you.
It's going to be a really fun week, so fucking stay tuned. UFC all week. We got Max versus Kattar on ABC, on TV. No fucking ESPN Plus and all that bullshit. Prelims on ESPN Plus, but who gives a fuck, right? For you guys, we do. But ABC, American Broadcast Channel, is it?
Fuck, you beats me, bro.
Yep, ABC though.